Welcome back to this video. This video will look at FLSM 20 host. So all you need is two power table written like this. Okay, 128, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. This is all you need. You can find the entire answers using this. No calculator is necessary. Okay. So the ID, network ID given to us is 192.168.1.0/24/24 written down in this format 255, 255, 255, and you know why /24 means 255, 255, 255, because you have 8 ones under each 255, right? You have 8 here and then another 8 under 255, right? And then another 8 under this 255. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 24. This is how you're getting 24. Okay. So if it's showing 255, just remember you have 8 ones. Then 8 ones, you're getting 24 network bits. And this represents the network part of the IP address. So we know in class A or class C, we have the first 3 octets. We have the network portion. The last portion is the host part. So 20 hosts, right? So we always start from the left side, 128, right? 128 is way too much. We don't need that much. 64 is also too much. We only need 20. 32 is a little too much, but we might have to go with 32 because next one is 16. 16 is less than 20, so we have to go with the next highest is 32. So we are going with 32. So straight away we know 32 will be our block size in each subnet. Block size just means for each subnet we get around 30 hosts. And why 30? Because we lose one for network ID and other one for the broadcast ID. So we still get 30 hosts, which is 10 more than 20 requirement. So we have additional 10 that's available for future use. So we can say 20 is enough. So we can say our first subnet is, we always start with whatever given to us here, right? So 192.168.1. So 32 is our block size. So we cannot go all the way to 32. 1 minus 32 is 31. It will be our broadcast. And we need to find the new slash value because it's not going to be 24 anymore. So let's find out. So this much was 24, right? This was given to us 24. But now from the host part, from the 0 part, we borrowed 3 more bits. 1, 2, 3. We ended here. This is the last bit borrowed. So 24 plus 1, 25, plus 1, 26, plus 1, 27. So our new slash value is slash 27. And we need to find out the written format, our subnet mask, which represents the network portion of our IP address. So the first 3 octet still remains the same. We only borrowed from the last octet. So 255, 255, 255. That much is same still. But 0 is no longer 0 because we borrowed 3 bits. So we borrowed these 3 bits, right? So we just need to add 128 plus 64 plus 32. And we stop at 32 because that's the last bit we borrowed, right? So 128 plus 64 is 192 plus 32 equals 224. So our new subnet mask is 224. Okay. So let me also show you this. Now we have 8 ones here just like we had before. Nothing changing there. 8 ones here, right? Same 8 ones here. Okay. But here is no longer 8 ones. We have only the first 3 we borrowed. So 1, 1, 1, and the rest are 0. Okay. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this requirement, since it was 20 hosts, we only borrowed 3 bits. So that's why the first 3 bits are on. Is no longer 0, we converted into 1, right? Before we converted, let me show you, before we converted, it was 0, right? It was 0, so it was like this, right? And now we borrowed 3 more bits, 1, 2, 3. So that's why it's 24, this much is 24, right? 8 plus 8 plus 8, 24 plus the 3 is 27. This is how we get 27, right? So in binary format is written like this: 111000000 for the new subnet mask. So we get to figure out the number of subnets we get. Well, in this case, we only have one requirement, 20 hosts. So the first subnet will go 192.168.1. This is our first subnet. Second subnet starts at 32, and then 27. That will go until 192.168.1.63, right? 32 plus 32 is 64 minus 163. So the valid range, right? The valid range for the first subnet is 192.168.1.1 until 192.168.1.30, because 31 is the subnet. So 31 is a broadcast. So 1 minus that is 30. Valid range. This is the first subnet. Okay, this is the second subnet. And the valid range here is valid range 192.168.1.33, because 32 is the network ID, and then broadcast ID 192.168.1.30 or 62. So broadcast ID is 63, 1 minus broadcast ID is 62. So the valid range from 1.33 until 1.62. Third subnet. So before I write down the subnet, we get total of 8 subnets because we borrowed 3 bits, right? So to calculate the number of subnets is always 2 to the power of n. N means the number of converted bits. So like this, 2 to the power of n, the number of converted bits. In this case, we converted 3 bits. So 2 to the third, 8 subnets. This you will get 8 subnet with this 32. So second subnet, third will come like third sub 192.168. Where we ended at 63. This is a broadcast, right? So this will be 64/27, and then this will end at 192.168.1. So 96, but 1 minus 96 is 95 is the broadcast ID. And the valid range is from 192.168.1.65 until 192.168.1.94. Fourth will start at 192.168.1.96. This is the broadcast ID where we ended. So this will start here, and then the broadcast for this subnet is 192.168.1.127. 96 plus 32 is 128. But 1 minus 128 is 127. Valid range here is 192.168.1.97 until 192.168.1.126, right? Next one, fifth one, will start at 192.168.1.128, and that broadcast ID will be 192.168.1. It will be 128 plus 32 is 160, minus 1 is 159. Valid range here is 192.168.1.129 until 192.168.1.158. Sixth one starts at 192.168.1.160. Broadcast ID will be 192.168.1.190. 191, right? 160 plus 32 is 192. 192 minus 1 is 191. Valid range 192.168.1.161 until 192.168.1.190. Seventh one starts at 192.168.1.192 and then broadcast ID 192.168.1.223, because 192 plus 32 is 224. 224 minus 1 is 223. So broadcast ID. Valid range here is 192.168.1.193 and it goes until 192.168.1.222. Eighth subnet. This will be the last one because we get total 8 subnets here, and last subnet starts at 192.168.1.224/27 and ends at 192.168.1.255. 224 plus 32 is 256, minus 1 is 255. Valid range here is 192.168.1.225 until 192.168.1.254. This is how you find the 20 host requirement FLSM and using just this right here. This is all you need. We can memorize the slash value for each bit even better. So 128 you have /25, 64 you get /26, 25. This will never change, right? So all you have to do is just memorize this. 3 bits borrow at 32 we get the /27, which is what we just did. 4-bit borrow /28 and 5 bits 29, 30, 31 and 32. And before this it was 24, and each time you borrow a bit it will be 25. For if we borrow just 1 bit it will be /25, 2 bits /26, 3 bits /27, 4 bits 28, 5 bits 29, 6 bits 30, 7 bits 31, all the way to the last bit is 32. Hope this helps. If you have any doubt, please ask down below. Next one we'll see another concept. We'll write down like the subnet mask in written format, and then we'll do the opposite, how to find the slash value, right? So that will be interesting. So stay tuned for that. Until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.